What is up, YouTube Nation? This is Havoc, the emo, the collector fiend that runs this scene, and today we're just gonna be talking. It's been busy. It's been going. There's a lot been going on in the Transform fandom, and it's just been busy in general. I've been putting in extra hours at work to try to make up money for TFCon. So a lot of cool stuff. I got a lot of the videos that I need to edit that's backlogged. Trying to set up things for gaming videos, all kinds of stuff. So that is where I've been, for that one person who's been asking. Now, like I said, we're going to do some talking. I'm going to mainly talk about the plethora of leaks that we have gotten throughout just these 2 weeks. We have almost half of 2024 going on, and we got 2025 stuff going on too. We still have some gaps in here when it comes to both Legacy and Studio Series when talking about 2024, 2025. But we got a shit ton of Studio Series figures, some Legacy figures. So yeah, let's get to it without further ado, because there is a lot to talk about and this video is going to be pretty long. So we'll talk about yeah, we'll just get right into it. So we got a few package refreshes coming out, which is good news. Such good news. Usually package refreshes are just somewhat, but these ones were needed. I've been telling people on my Facebook groups it's going to happen, and it's happening. Here's some package refreshes. We'll just start right there. So first of all, we got a Deluxe 86 Jazz package refresh. Obviously, we're talking about the Studio Series line again. Cool figure. I don't think it's necessarily a trademark reason. I think it's just they're just trying to get it out there. I feel like they might just have some extras sitting in the stock room in the back, and they're just trying to get rid of it. But it's a cool figure for those who haven't gotten a chance to pick it up, and for those who like to customize, yeah, just pick it up and do all kinds of crazy custom colors with it. So that's cool for those who are interested in picking up another Jazz. Deluxe 86 Perceptor package refresh. I feel like that's more of a trademark thing. You know, it's been a couple of years since we've gotten Perceptor. We haven't really done anything else with Perceptor, so I feel like we're just kind of releasing it again for a trademark, because it doesn't go for too much on the secondary market. But it was a very, very nice figure. Like, that figure sold quite well, and it's a cool figure. I mean, not everyone really cares for those kind of non-car or non-vehicle Transformers, but I think Perceptor was pretty cool. He was a fun figure. The beef, the literal beef and beans, the king of these package refreshes will be our Leader 86 Grimlock. Fuck yeah! I've been telling people, I've been saying it was going to happen. It's about time. It's about time. I'm so glad I didn't pay $250, $300, $400 damn dollars for that figure. There's going to be a lot of Grimlocks, by the way. But yeah, we're getting a package refresh. So people, don't buy those ridiculous Grimlocks. Stop doing it. Just wait. Just wait. It's going to come out. Will it be scalped again? I don't know. Maybe. Scalpers are still trying to get rid of the ones they do have. So I'm pretty sure, like Hasbro, they were listening. Distribution wasn't the best for that time, so I'm guessing they will be putting, maybe not like double, but they're going to put in more than they were putting out before, and they're going to make sure we get those figures. They're going to have it on their online shop. They're going to have it in the physical shop. It's going to be everywhere. So that's exciting. You cannot go wrong. It's a cool figure. Cannot wait to have it. And it's going to coincide with that swoop that's coming out. Um, that's coming out in 2024, maybe 2025. So yeah, we're getting that package, refresh. No doubts, and that's cool. That's confirmed. It's leaked. Cannot wait for that. For your Michael Bay movie fans, for them live action fans, this is going to be a big one as well. We got TF3, that is Dark of the Moon. Leader Class Shockwave. I might pick this up. I didn't get a chance to pick it up. Shockwave was a really cool design. He was a badass character before he got his face punched off by Petey. And then we have our TF7, that is our Rise of the Beast, Optimus Prime Leader Class Package Refresh, or I guess it's the Voyager. But yeah, that's the Dark of the Moon one. That would have been that Buzzworthy Bumblebee Target exclusive, but since that got discontinued, those exclusive figures are now going out and hitting retail. So we get a second chance to pick those up. That's hype. I'm going to definitely pick that up. That's cool. Now we're getting into some more interesting stuff. Oh yeah, making it a little interesting here. We're finally finding our deluxe TF3 Hatchet. One of those Dreadbots. It's the one that looks like this. The one that looks like this dog here. Like a Hellhound straight from Cybertron. Straight from Pits to Pit Hound. It's a pit glitch. Whatever you want to call it. It's badass. It's cool. I hope it looks better in hand, because from these pictures that definitely looks like it has a bunch of kibble going on there, but it definitely has that cool design. There was definitely unique designs going on with those Michael Bay movies, despite a very like the storyline was very dismissed. It was not a linear storyline with those movies at all, but the designs, those were cool. So for those who are waiting for that, for those who have their Crowbar, Berserk, and Dreadbot, get to finish it off. So good for you guys. Deluxe TF3Q. That's going to be a cool one. We haven't gotten a good one of those since the Dark of the Moon Q, and that was actually labeled as Wheeljack. So now Q is getting his own trademark. You know, they showed Q as a different character in animated. He's getting his own trademark, so now they're actually kind of differentiating those two characters. So yeah, we will see a Q. Again, that last one that we got, it goes for expensive prices nowadays if you want to pick it up. So it's going to be kind of cool to get him updated. He was kind of a cool design despite him being, that kind of funky old man. It was a cool design. And then we have Leader Transformers 4 Optimus Prime. I'm guessing that's going to be this night version, because we're already getting a box truck coming out that year. And also it says Leader Class, so I'm feeling that's going to be that lot more, that bigger truck. It doesn't say Invasion Mode or anything. It just says Optimus Prime. So I'm guessing we're going to get that Age of Extinction beefed up Optimus Prime look, which again, we got these toys. There was a few toys that came out, but some of them were very cluttery. There was the one-step changers. There wasn't necessarily one that sold the look too well unless you looked at third-party options. So I think that one's that's going to look really cool, I think, coming out. And I feel like it might end still being scale in that kind of Voyager, a little more than a Voyager scale. I just think it's a bigger truck. They're putting more budget into it to put in more moving pieces. Because that's a very truck to alien robot. There is no signs he's a vehicle once he's in his robot mode. So I'm very interested to see how they pull that off. We're looking into deluxe. This is deluxe movie for Widowmaker. More of those concept design characters. This one's cool. This is one of the concept designs. I know there was like 2 or 3 going out there. You could look it up online, look through all the different designs. But this is the more widespread one. Widowmaker was supposed to be what Stinger ended up being. She was going to be that red, that red sports car, that red, Decepticon, but they ended up trading her in for Springer because red repaint. That's why. That's the closest thing we're going to a live action movie cliff jumper until, the Bumblebee movie at least. So yeah, that's going to be cool. This design that's crazy with there's ones that doesn't have the tail, but I kind of like the one with the tail. Makes it look a lot more monster-like. Are they going to go with this face sculpt? Or are they going to go with one of the many other face sculpts going on? Some of them looking just a lot more robotical in nature. I don't know. It's very interesting. This is the design that I liked the most out of it, so I'm kind of interested to see how they pull that off, and if it's still going to be that red sports car that we got with Stinger. So for those who have Stinger, you could have the exact same sports car, but they both turn into different things. So that'd be kind of cool. So we'll see how that turns out. This one's a little bit interesting. It's just Deluxe Movie 6 Bumblebee. That's the Bumblebee movie, Bumblebee. It doesn't say package refresh, so is it a new figure with a battle mask? Do they repainted something? Is it just a standalone? Are they taking that souped up Bumblebee garage set thing and just taking all those pieces and just releasing him? I don't know. We'll see on that. So for our Bumblebee fans, that's definitely definitely something you could add to the hive. Deluxe TF7 leader. Oh no, yeah, no. We're looking so many things on this list. We're looking at leader TF7 Ape Link. No doubt going to be a retool of that Primal. They might make a figure like from the ground up, but I feel with everything coming out to be on the safe side, they might just heavily retool that Primal. Maybe bulk it up a little bit since he was a little bigger than Primal. Give him a different face sculpt. They definitely have that creative licensing with the robot mode, since there was never a physical robot mode in the movie. So cool. I'm interested to see how that turns out. And now we're looking into our Deluxe TF7 Double Punch. Double Punch is just going to be a Scorponok repaint. From this painting here, we got a blue one, a yellow one, and a red one on top of the purple one. So we have Double Punch, Sandstorm, and the yellow one's right there. I don't remember its name, but it's there. It is there. So yeah, no doubt probably gonna be a cool figure. But for those who want an army build, you could get a bunch of those. And then this one is labeled as Transformers Generation Series A. It's Series A level. It's a Deluxe Dev Optimus Prime. The wide speculation is Dev could be Devastation from that older video game. Could be like Deluxe, could just be like the basic cab, nothing else. Yeah, that could be cool. It's going to be another Optimus Prime figure. I'm sure it's going to sell well. It's going to be a red and blue truck. Don't know what to say about that. This is going to be cool. I guess I'll just go down. It doesn't necessarily matter in what specific order. So we'll go into our gamer edition stuff, we're looking at our Voyager class Warforged Cybertron Ironhide. That's going to be kind of cool. I don't have any of the gamer edition stuff. I think they're cool. I think their vehicle modes are very cool. I kind of prefer the original toys a little more. There's nothing so particularly great about these toys that shout out to me to collect them right away. The games were fun. I played the games a while ago. I haven't got a chance to complete them. I never will, unfortunately, until they, if they remake them or re-release them or whatever. But yeah, I think they're cool. The concepts, the playability, the interchangeable weapons, I think that's all really cool. It's just so far the designs have just been very bulky, blocky, and small. Like the proportions have been a little throwing me off, and I realize that they're just following the game to the best dynamic that they can. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing has necessarily spoken out to me too much about these Gamer Edition things. But for those who like it, good for you. I'm sure it's going to turn out great. We're looking at a deluxe Warforged Cybertron Autobot Soldier. So again, more of that Gamer Edition stuff. This is, looks like this guy. Is it going to be it's not going to be a repaint of, Ironhide, but I'm sure that Autobot Soldier, it's probably going to be a repaint of something. I could probably see them like taking that Bumblebee and remolding it and then just re-releasing that. I could see that happening. I could definitely see it just being a extensive retool of something that they've already released. We're looking at a Voyager Warforged Cybertron Skywarp and a Voyager Warforged Cybertron Thundercracker. No surprise, it's going to be that Starscream we just got. It's going to be repainted into the purple. It's going to be repainted into the blue. It's going to be this, the same figure. It might have different weapons, maybe different faces, but I'm sure for those who liked it, it's a cool figure. I have the original Generations Skywarp based off that design, and that toy does it all for me in that deluxe. So I don't know. These new ones are cool, but again, haven't necessarily gone out my way to buy any of these Gamer Editions stuff. I cannot talk right now at all. At all. Anyway, here are we getting into some things of devastating proportions. We're looking at Deluxe 86 Bone Crusher, a Studio Series 86 Bone Crusher. Yes, that Bone Crusher, this Bone Crusher that turns into this thing. Well, technically this thing. No, this one. Yes, so we're getting our Bone Crusher. Devastator is coming, people, and I am fucking here for it, man. I'm here for it. There's nothing more to be said. Devastator is coming. A lot of people were very unhappy with that Combiner Wars one. I got the Combiner Wars ones for Christmas at one point. So I thought it was fun as a kid. I still think it's a fun toy, especially I have that upgrade kit for it, and I definitely see why people didn't want to pay the $200 for it as it was, counting that some of them didn't even have elbows, they didn't have weapons. It was definitely there more for a Devastator, and even then, without any of the upgrade kits, the arms they didn't move very good. The head is just solid in place, and even with the upgrade kits give it The upgrade kit that I have doesn't have a G1 head for it. It has the comic book Prowlistator head, as we call it in the fandom, Prowlistator. I just, I call it Devastator, Prowlistator, whatever it was called. But yeah, we get an update. I'm sure it's not going to be that Titan class. I'm sure it's not going to be that big. It's probably going to fall into more of that Commander class with Menasor. Probably a little bit bigger, counting he is 6 pieces coming together. So he's probably going to be a little bit bigger than that Menasor. Maybe around that Menasor if you have that DNA upgrade kit for him. I could probably see him being around that size. Going down that same train, Deluxe 86 Scavenger. Bam! This Scavenger, yes sir. This Scavenger, yes sir. Oddly enough, one of my favorite designed ones. I've always liked Scavenger. Definitely when it came to that Combiner Wars Titan class, Scavenger was by far one of the best out of that box set. It was Scavenger and Bone Crusher were the best, but I love Scavenger's design. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's the blockiness. It's retro. Like his face almost reminds me of like a squared off Cylon, with just that black helmet instead of the grin. It's just all something about Scavenger just appeals to me in a way that I cannot explain to people because he is just such a retro looking robot, even for the time, like he would kind of looks like something you would see in a live action 70s sci-fi horror film or something, So moving down, we got Voyager 86 Scrapper. The leader, this guy, he puts the foot down. And then we also have Voyager 86 Mixmaster. So it looks like the sizes are going to be, I feel like the scale generally is going to be not too far off. I think it's just more engineering wise, and it kind of makes sense that Scrapper and Mixmaster might be a Voyager. It really depends on how they want to do the combination. If they're going to have pieces of the Shin pop out of their individual robot modes, because that's technically how it more went in the animation, or if it's just more of they're pretty big vehicles. So we'll kind of see how that goes. But if they go from deluxe to Voyagers, it wouldn't necessarily bother me too much. I know there's a lot of scale nuts though that if they're not the same scale, that drives people nuts. That's one reason I liked the Combiner Wars and Power of the Primes Titan class combiners, because they're all the same scale, and they all looks pretty decent. People wanted to crap on them though. But yes, we are getting a 86 Devastator. I am sure that thing is going to be super well received. I'm sure we're going to get a G2 repaint, a yellow repaint. They're probably going to do a box set. Like, they're going to stretch their money out for this. Like, Devastator is definitely a fan favorite, and a lot of fans have been wanting a better G1 Devastator, because we saw that Combiner Wars one. People were not having it. They did not want to buy it. They're like, what the is this? They were done with it. They didn't even want to give it a try. Okay, the guys, we're maybe like halfway down the list. We got a lot of shit going on. All right, let's keep this going. We got Legacy Core Class Beast Wars Dinobot. Yes, this Dinobot. I'm sure it's going to be maybe that original Dinobot we got in the 90s, shrunken down, because I could see how that engineering could work for that. So, Core Class Dinobot. For those who are interested, Core Class figures are kind of cool. I might pick them up. They're, the cool pocket bots. Legacy Deluxe G1 Sure Shot. This guy. I think these guys were called the Trigger Bots. He only got the one toy that came back in the 80s, 90s, somewhere around there. I think it was around like 88, 87. I think he was more making an appearance in the Headmaster series. Cool figure. Got that one toy. Now we're getting another one for, so, you know, all of our 80s and 90s kids who are collectors of Transformers, they're here for it. That's good news for you guys. I might pick them up. They're cool. And that, you know, now we have our we just had another one that just, why can't I think of his name? We just had one, and now we have his buddy. I just cannot think of his name right now, but he's everyone knows who collects these. They know who I'm talking about. He's the one that had the Target Master, and it's spacing me right now. I don't know why. There's just too many names on this list, and he is not one. Going down, we got Legacy Deluxe G2 Breakdown. This was bound to happen. Looking like this. He's looking sleek. I mean, I like the blue, the purple. Like, man, you looking good. He's looking nice. He's looking retro. I'm not going to go and buy all these figures again for a brighter colored version. But for those who want so, he looks cool, and I'm sure he's going to pop under a black light. We got Legacy Armada Wheeljack. Going on that Armada list, I'm glad that we got something in Armada. I told in my last video how I wanted something from Armada. I was hoping more for a Decepticon, but it kind of makes sense that we're getting a Armada Red Alert, just because he was one of the original 3 that came out. It was Prime, it was Hotshot, it was Red Alert. Those were the first 3 Autobots introduced on Earth. We're technically getting 2 Armada figures, but we'll get into that. Yeah. So, oh wait, no. Okay, well, we are getting a Red Alert, but this was actually supposed to be Armada Wheeljack. So yeah, we got Armada Wheeljack. We're going to talk about this now. Armada Wheeljack looks cool. We knew this was going to happen from that as soon as we got that Shadow Glass Wheeljack. And this was one reason I was kind of wanting a Decepticon. This was one reason I was kind of wanting a Demolisher, a Cyclonus or a Demolisher, just because it would kind of fill it out. We got 2 Autobots, we got 2 Decepticons, you know, give us an Autobot, give us a Decepticon, fill out at least the original groups of the Autobots and Decepticons would be cool. But now we have 4 Autobots. So hopefully that means we're going to get 2 Decepticons. Hopefully that means, you know, we get our Cyclonus and Demolisher in the same year. Or same wave. 2 different waves. You know, whatever it happens. So that'd be cool. But yeah. That Red Alert is no doubt probably going to be that repaint of Autobot JP93 from that Jurassic World crossover. I could see it happening. It follows all the cues. Will he have an actual gun hand? Will they just have like a gun that he could just pop over his hand? I think I just want the regular gun hand. Give me the gun hand. The laser hand, please give me it. I think it was cool, and I think that with that JP93 figure, I think it'd be pulled off really nicely, and it'll go well with the aesthetic. The only thing I could see people complaining about is how the legs look compared to the original animation model in the original toys. A little inaccurate, but I think it looks cool. I don't have the figure, but it looks like a fun toy. So I talked about that Wheeljack. We talked about Red Alert. We're looking at our deluxe package refresh Cosmos. Yes, we're getting a Cosmos. We don't gotta pay $200. We don't gotta break ourselves. We don't gotta break our wallets. We're getting a Cosmos so we could go soaring over the stars in our tin can. Maybe I've had too much coffee. I'm excited. I'm trying to get through this stuff quickly because there's lots to talk about. Yes, we got our Cosmos. Package refresh. Looks cool. This is it. We're getting and it's widespread. It's no longer just a store exclusive. It's going to be in retail everywhere. So pick it up. Pick it up 1, pick it up 2 times. Leave some for the rest of us, though. Okay, we're looking at a Voyager Ramjet package refresh. So we're getting another cone head. Ramjet is the white one. So adds on to that dirge. Now we just need a thrust, and we got our cone heads all together, which is gonna be delightful. And yeah, I'm all down for the cone heads. I like the cone heads. Bring me these. Bring me the Decepticons. We need more Decepticons. I want more Decepticons. Bring them going. We got a lot of Autobots. We got a lot of them. We got a shit ton. Give me some Decepticons. We need even odds. Keep it going. Keep it going. We got a Tarn package refresh. It was this guy. Looks cool. Maybe it's a trademark reason. Maybe they just want to get another sell out of it. Either way, cool figure. Another chance for people to pick it up. We got a Leader Galaxy Shuttle package refresh. For those who wanted it, it's cool. It's the Astro Train repaint. And yeah, that looks cool. Definitely could go pick those up for those who didn't get to pick it up because the distribution on the final wave of Speedia was distribution for Speedia was crap in general. Leader G1 Overcharge. It's just it's this guy. So we're gonna get that Legacy Blitzwing, repaint it into this white, blue, and green turd guy over here. If you're into the comic books, Overcharge was, they have a comic book story where Overcharge was an attack drone, and one of the attack drones broke off, became sentient, and that's how, and you know, he became Blitzwing. So, you know, if you care about those, I think it was a Japanese manga, that's not necessarily tied to Hasbro's thing, but for those who like that history, you guys could have that. And it's another chance to pick up that mold. It's pretty fun. But yeah. Going down to Leader 86 Megatron and Leader 86 Galvatron. And this is SS. So let's first talk about the Megatron. Will it be a gun? No, it cannot be a gun. For legal reasons and trademark reasons, because the Walther P38 is a licensed firearm. It is a patented firearm. And they would have to pay money to Walther Guns, you know, Walther Arms, Walther Ammunition, you know, they have to give them money to make this. Second of all, we're not allowed to make toy guns like that. So most likely it's going to be a tank. That's just how it is. It's probably going to be that tank mold that we've been seeing, or maybe a new tank from the ground up. But it's going to look nice. It's going to have a lot more of that accurate paint scheme. It's probably going to have better plastic for those who've been living with that Earthrise one, and haven't found the time to treat it, haven't found the time to paint it, or just if you don't know how to treat it or paint it, this would be maybe a better option. You could sell that and then get a new Leader one that will have better plastic, it will have better details, and it might be the same mold even, just with extra stuff. They might give you a little extra accessories here and there to build it out, but we will see. It won't be. If it's a gun, everybody needs to just throw all the money they have at Hasbro, because that they pulled a miracle out of their ass if they made it into a gun. That's crazy. But yeah, we're going to see a tank. It's unfortunate, I know, but it'll be cool. It's going to be more accurate to how he looked, and I'm sure it's still going to be accurate to how he appeared. It's just not going to be a gun. It's going to be a tank, or maybe a jet, or maybe a standing turret. That's something they could get away with, having him turn into some kind of standing turret. Yeah, some kind of standing turret I could see. I could definitely see him coming with an accessory of himself as a little gun. That I could see. That's probably what we're going to like see. What's going to happen is we're going to have a Megatron who's going to be a tank, maybe some kind of turret, or a jet. But we're going to have a very screen accurate robot mode Megatron, at least as screen accurate as they could get with whatever mold they end up deciding to go with, whether they reuse the mold or make a new mold. And then we're going to get as an accessory, so you could reenact the the death scenes where you know shooting him. I'm sure he's going to get a blast effect to kind of reenact that. So, all in all, that's probably what we're going to see. Galvatron. I'm definitely interested to see what they do to improve this Galvatron from the Galvatron we already got. Because that Galvatron was designed in the John Warden era. If I'm not mistaken. And then they could always take it and re-release it with like more accurate paint. But I think they're going to do something a little new, slim them down a little bit, give them more accurate like legs. I'm sure they're going to do something from the ground up. And I don't know. I'm interested to see where that goes, where that happens. But yeah, new Galvatron in '86. Henrietta 86 Commander Optimus confirmed. So that's definitely cool. We're getting a lot of that 86 stuff. We're getting Devastator, Prime, Megs, Galvatron. Definitely going to be seeing some cool figures coming out. All right, down the list, we're looking at the Transformers 1 product. Yes, the new upcoming Transformers 1 of 2024. We're seeing new product coming from them. Coming with Transformers 1 B127. So it looks like they're sticking with Bumblebee being called B127 before he went to Bumblebee. It looks like they're going to put that in stone when you're looking into this new story that they're telling. Whether people of the older generation who grew up on G1, B127 is kind of a weird name, I understand, but alien robot called Bumblebee is kind of a weird name in too. So it makes sense. But yeah, it looks like they're sticking with that B127 to further kind of put in that history. And I'm sure it's now imagine all the money they can make. They can make, we have a bunch of pre-Bumblebee figures, and then we have a bunch of Bumblebee figures. So you get a B127, then we get a Bumblebee, and a B127 and a Bumblebee, a B127 and a Bumblebee. You got, they're making money. But yeah, I think it's just more of origin story. We don't necessarily have any idea of what their designs may be like now, but we do know that B127 is voiced by Michael Keegan Key. Interested to see how that turns out. We have a deluxe TF1 Starscream. I'm guessing this is going to be like a scientist Starscream. It kind of depends on what story they go with. Was he a scientist? Are they going to go with his more comic and game thing where he was a air general? Where does he fall in the storyline? Transformers 1 is retelling Transformers universe, which we get a little. I might make that into a different video. This video is already getting quite long, so I might talk about into a different video depending on where we are after this. So we're looking at, we've got the Starscream, we got Voyager, TF1 Sentinel Prime, the person who had the Matrix before Optimus, according to comics. But yeah. Yes. We'll get a little bit more about that stuff later. And then looking into 2025, looking into what we have after Legacy, our new Transformer line will be called Generations Prime. Kind of cheeky, kind of cheesy, I know, because we've had Generations. We had Generation 1, we had Generations Thrilling 30. We had the Generations line. Generations Prime, like we had Transformers Prime, but it kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense when we kind of hear about what we're getting out of Generations Prime. So let's start into, first we're getting a Crash Bar Deluxe Pack Refresh. That's this guy. We don't need to talk about him. Cool figure, comes apart, makes armor, blah blah blah. Deluxe Venom. Looks like we got they're sticking with that Venom trademark. They somehow were able to pull off calling two of their characters Venom, but I guess if they, if they own the toy rights for both, they were able to kind of slither around some things. Deluxe Swindle. This Swindle, usually it says Animated, Prime, Psy, Energon, Armada. It says something before the name if it's referring to a certain series, and if it doesn't say that, then it is being talked about the G1 counterpart, which is this guy, which is, if we're getting the amount of combiners that were just released, seriously, Bruticus, I'm going broke already. Just thinking about, just reading this list, you are making me go broke. I am saving money for things that are coming out in 2025, Hasbro, you cheeky bastards. We're getting a Bruticus. We all thought it, we all associated it. And with Bruticus, I could see them taking Bruticus and tweaking the designs and getting a Defensor out of it. Like Blastoff already being that rocket shuttle, kind of just changed the shell of the vehicle mode. You got a Rite Aid. Blade, you got Vortex, retool some of the facing. You got Blades. The only figure you really need to change a lot would have to be Groove, just because he's a motorcycle, but unless you have a carrying cart or something, I'm sure that could get figured out. But you could take Swindle, we get a Streetwise. I'm sure, I'm not saying it's perfect, but that engineering is definitely there's definitely a bone structure in the engineering for Bruticus to easily just, shift a few things, take a corner, and then we got a Defensor. So we're probably going to get Defensor as our next Autobot combiner. Not our next, but well, I guess it is our next. It's the next combiner after our next Autobot combiner. I'll just shut up and get through the list. You'll figure it out. We're looking at Animated Wasp. We knew that was coming. We got the animated Bumblebee from Legacy. Repaint it. Now it's green. We got that the new Wasp's face on it instead of having just the regular green face. And then boop, call it a day. Go get a coffee. Voyager RID Skybite. Oh yeah, more sharks, Yeah. We have the Thrilling 30. That was probably the best incarnation that we have gotten since the original RID one that came back in 2000, 2001, 2000. Whether you want to call that one the best one we got, that's kind of up to you. But it's that one and the Thrilling 30 are basically the two best you're going to get when you want to go with that RID design. We've gotten a lot of little things, on top of the fact that Skybite coincidentally won the favorite character of RID, which completely understandable. It's also just kind of a trademark thing. We haven't gotten a Skybite in a little bit, so it just happens to kind of fall into place. So we will be seeing a Skybite. Will they take that old generation's Thrilling 30 Skybite and tweak it a little bit like they did with Waspinator? We will see. How much can they, improve on that since the Thrilling 30? Then I'm definitely interested in seeing how that turns out. Okay, we're looking into Voyager Flatline. This is probably the design we're getting. That's the comic IDW comic universe. We did get a Flatline in the live action movie comics, but I feel like that'd fall more into concept designs more than anything. But yeah, I feel like he's going to be this. I'm pretty sure Flatline was is he a medic? He's kind of like a evil medic. Yeah, Decepticon, evil medic. He's kind of like if Shockwave was a barbarian and less intelligent. We already talked about the Armado Red Alert. That's going to be coming out in Generations Prime. So Armado Red Alert will be coming out in 2025. 2024, we'll be getting the Armado Wheeljack. And then we're looking at Voyager Rescue Bots Heatwave. We got our Chase. We're getting our Heatwave. With Heatwave, what will that be remolded into? Because we know with our Chase, we're probably going to get Transformers Prime not Bulkhead. We're probably going to get our Cliff Jumper. I was thinking with Heatwave, we could probably get a animated Bulkhead. They're both kind of in those van kind of rescue. They're both kind of, I don't know. We really have to see how that turns out. But for those who grew up on Rescue Bots, they're like almost in they're in their 20s now. I never got into it as a kid. It didn't have Decepticons. Didn't have fighting. It did not interest me. It was not. Nope. Leader G2 Grimlock. No, not the Toxitron Grimlock. This Grimlock right here, this blue guy. Yes, we're going to get him. So we got the original painted. We got the Toxitron. We're getting this G2 one. We're getting the comic colored one. They're making money off Grimlock. For sure. Deluxe Air Raid. Deluxe Fireflight. Deluxe Skydive. And Deluxe Slingshot. We're getting a Superion as well. A Superion. I can't even. Now, we kind of saw this coming, like Menasor, and Superion are kind of the, first two new, like Superion's the first Autobot combiner. So it makes sense that in this new generation of Transformers that he'd be the first Autobot combiner that they do. It's kind of surprising that we are getting a Devastator before we're getting a Air Raid or a Superion, but it makes sense because this is the 40th anniversary, 2024. So pumping out a big character that's been a reoccurring character throughout Transformers, not as reoccurring as he really should be. You know, come on. Next Transformer, whatever the next Transformer animation series is, give us a Devastator. It doesn't have to be a G1 Devastator. Hell, we don't even care if he's a combiner. We much prefer if he's a combiner, but if he's just a really big, badass character, cool. Just give us a new Devastator. Is it that hard? Not a dog. Or whatever Michael Bay's Golem thing was. Despite liking, those toys are fun, give us an actual Devastator. Keep on going. Keep on going. We got Skybat. We got Heatwave. We got... Okay, yeah. So we got leaks for Bruticus. We got leaks for... leaks for Bruticus. Leaks for Devastator. Leaks for Superion. It looks like we're probably going to get... more. We're probably going to get Devastator first. By the end of 2024 to early 2025, that's probably when we're going to start seeing Swindle. And then, once we get into maybe the third or fourth figure, that's when we're going to probably see a... well, actually, no, I feel like... So we're probably going to see Superion after that. After Superion is all said and done, we're going to get our Swindle. So Swindle's probably going to come out around the end of 2025-ish. And we're probably going to get our Commander is going to be Silverbolt for 2025. So definitely cool. Now, why is this called Generations Prime? Well, I'll tell you why. For the first time ever, with the exception of maybe 2, I guess 3 if you really want to be technical, we are getting official toys for the 13 Primes. Yes, 13 Primes, and it's going to go as such. These are the ones that we have talked about, but we're obviously going to get a lot more. How they are going to look out, we talk about it. We got a Deluxe Solus Prime. That's the female Prime. I say female in quotations because I don't specify gender with robots. Sorry. Solus Prime. What I find cool about Solus Prime is it's the only actual Transformer that's capable of reproduction, as in she has her own forge, so she can make Transformers with sparks coming out of here, where initially Transformers could only come out from those sparks, well of all sparks. So that's one thing that's cool. She's kind of like the prime of creation, something like that. Not creation. I don't know. They're all a prime of something, but Solus is might have the Forge of Solus. Done deal. I'm interested to see how they take this old design and turn it into something known. Now, there is designs out there for 13 Primes. The 13 Primes was something that was talked about way back in the day. And the 13 designs, they have original concept art designed by Aaron Archer. But we'll get into that once we talk about all the 13 Primes. We'll get into a little bit of the history. And then we'll speed this up, be done lickety-split, and try to make this less than an hour. Or a little bit than an hour. Okay. So we're getting a Deluxe Solus Prime. We're getting a Deluxe Alchemist Prime. Alchemist Prime's cool. It's the one that has goggles. So we've kind of gotten an Alchemist Prime with the Cyberverse Build-A-Figure. I don't know if he actually transformed ever in Cyberverse. I didn't watch this show. It's someone I have to catch up on. But, so they have... And he's made an appearance in the IDW comic book, so I'm sure they're probably going to find a happy medium between his IDW and his Cyberverse, because those are like the two newest and most well-known representations of that character. So we're also having a deluxe Micronus as this guy. Micronus is an interesting character because he essentially lives inside of a ball of energy, so his power doesn't destroy things, but he's the prime of mini-cons and the mini-bots. But yeah, he lives in this little spear ball that keeps his energy, because you know, like how mini-cons, when they combine, they give you a power-up, and he's basically the ultimate mini-con. His power's too strong, so he has to keep it in like this little ball of energy. So I'm kind of interested in how there is designs of him outside of his ball of energy, of him just walking around, but I'm interested in seeing how they design this and where they go with it. You know, before this, I've seen a lot of people do Micronus as just. I've seen a lot of customs from like old Bumblebee figures, like animated Bumblebee. I've seen people do customs into Micronus and Hot Shot. I've seen Hot Shots do it, but I've never actually seen. You know, we'll see. That's going to be interesting how they do that, because obviously they can't give them a ball of energy around them. So. Are they going to incorporate that as like maybe like a spark driver kind of thing? That'd be kind of cool. We haven't seen a kind of a spark driver kind of deal in a little bit, so that'd be kind of cool. We can get something like that to kind of homage that. I am right here. All right, looking at Voyager Prima. That's the big one. Prima's the one that has, you know, that's kind of the one that started it all, you know. It's kind of like out of the 13, it was like the main, like the, if you would have had to number all the 13s, Prima would be Prima 1, you know. He would be the first prime, first of the 13, if you will. So we got these designs. I think he made an appearance in comic books as well, so I'm guessing again they're going to take some of that later art design by Aaron Archer and some of the newer designs that we see and kind of bring them together here. I think Prima was in a G1 flashback. That's what it was. I think it was in a G1 flashback. And bring him in. A Voyager Alpha Trion, I'm interested in that for sure. Will he have his quill? That'd be cool. Is he going to be more of the G1 design? Is he going to be based more off this design? Either way, I'm going to pick him up because I want a more proper Alpha Trion figure. Him being a remold of Scourge, I don't know why, that figure didn't speak out to me enough to go pick up that box set. So now that we're getting another Alpha Trion that could be better, I'm interested in that. Leader the Fallen, aka Megatronus Prime. Probably going to be something more around this. He was a big figure. So I'm definitely seeing him being something more around this size. Something more around around this design. I'm definitely kind of seeing more of a comic book Black Knight, just warlord kind of thing going on. I don't think that they're going to kind of just take Megatron and then just kind of like make him beefier and call it Megatronus. I think they're definitely going to give Megatronus a lot more individuality, unlike other Megatronus things we've got in the past where it's just kind of been Megatron kind of flared up a little bit. So that's I'm definitely interested to see where they come with that. What kind of special weapons and stuff that all these guys will come up with. And then we have Leader Onyx Prime. This one's I'm really excited about because Onyx Prime is such a unique character and a unique design from when you look at him from Aaron Archer's design way back in the day and then look at him from a comic book standpoint where he's almost kind of like a centaur now. There is times where you see him with two legs, but he is like almost like a centaur griffin kind of thing. And I'm very interested to see how they are going to take this design, if they are even going to take this design and give him like some kind of beast mode, like some kind of phoenix or something, or if they're going to just scrap everything we've known from that design and give it something from the ground up. Because with him being a centaur with like a griffin head and wings and everything, like what can you make him turn into? Like he is the prime of beast, so yeah, you make him into a different beast. Like what? Like what? I could see it happening, but it's just kind of there's kind of design flaws when you look at it, especially since we don't necessarily see what Onyx transforms into. So for all we know, what we saw Onyx in could have been his beast mode. Like his little centaur thing could be his beast mode. We don't know. We'll see. We'll definitely see. And that's it. That's all the leaks. That was an hour of leaks. My gosh, I don't have a lot of time to do recording anymore. I work all the time. But yeah, the 13 Prime, we'll talk a little bit about that. The 13 Primes, where they come from, again, was Aaron Archer. Aaron Archer, back in the day, was working with Hasbro. After he got out of Kenner, been working there since Beast Wars, and they were coming, like, Hasbro was wanting to fill out the story of Transformers, because there was a lot of questions fans were having when it came to Transformers, about their lore, about the G1 history, and whatnot. So they were sitting down, and they wanted to think and storyboard about Transformer lore. What can we make, like, what can we add into this Transformer universe? What can we add into the lore? And they have this, he talks about this sheet that he has here. I'll put a picture right here about, we have the comic book lore. Under that, we have the G1's cartoon series, and then we have toy bios. These are all lore. They're all intertwined. And when I say comics, I mean Marvel Comics. That was out at the time. So Marvel Comics, G1 series, toy bios, and then this is before they started the continuity. This is kind of when they're brainstorming the continuity. This is when they ended up coming with the Covenant of Primus, which is directly tied in and is official G1 Hasbro lore to Transformers. It is their official history, and the 13 Primes are official lore. Now, when they were thinking about history, they were thinking about the Quintesson subject, the Quintesson history, about how that went, and for reasons that not even fully known by them, I think they just ended up scrapping that history. They ended up scrapping the whole thing where the Quintessons made Cybertron and the Quintessons made the Autobots. They kind of scrapped that history. They wanted to do something that's a little more linear, since I feel like it's more just because the G1 show jumped around a lot when it came to its history. So they wanted to do something completely different, and that's when they came up with Primus and Unicron were gods battling it out constantly. They both turned into battle spheres that later became, the planets. And Primus made the 13 Primes, after there was a bunch of life that grew up, the Transformers race, started, but he made the 13 Primes to fight against Unicron and basically be his heralds of good, I guess. And then they ended up becoming the 13 Transformer tribes. There was a war. So, some of them bound together, and some of them, like, two sides bound together, and they ended up becoming Autobots and Decepticons. And that's the history we know now and day. That is what, was talked about Aaron Archer and whatnot. So the 13 Primes, when they were talked about, they were never actually meant to be made as toys. They were never talked about as toys. They were only designed to make official G1 storyboard. They wanted to make G1 story. They wanted to fill out the storyline. But it got so popular that now it's like, okay, now it's such a big piece of Transformer history. Now we have to do the 13 Primes. So it's really cool that it took, you could hear about, go to the Toy Armada with Aaron Archer. Go to his YouTube channel, check it out, give him a subscribe, give him a watch. Check out his latest live stream. He talks about everything I just talked about the history of G1 Prime, about the 13 primes, about how they are tied into the lore, and about the design, and about how they were surprised to even see these coming into toys nowadays. They never imagined this to be a thing, let alone then make all 13 primes the whole centerpiece for a year. 1 year we're going all 13 of these primes. They're going to make a shit ton of money this year. And yeah. Anything else to talk about? I think that's it. That is it. There's a lot. There was a lot to talk about. Yeah. We got a release of a core Beast Wars Cheetor that leaked out. There's a little picture. Boop. 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 That's cool. That's it. I'm done. That was a lot of talking. Let's see, we're at an hour and 6 minutes. Oh, Jesus. I'm not even probably going to edit this. I'm going to send it as it is, so I might even say some shit that makes me sound stupid. But I don't have time to edit all of this. This is why I did it talky. But I will be having new videos out soon. I just need to edit some videos. I should have a review out within the next few days. So, with all of that being said, it is Happy to Emo saying, remember, there's nothing wrong with being a geek as long as you're feeling free and you're feeling you. Do what you want to do what you can do. It's your life, it's your money. Don't let anybody tell you you're too old to play, collect, or have fun. Until next time, YouTube Nation.